Alrighty, so now that we have gone through and looked at all of my stash last week, it's time to start looking at what I want to do with some of this yarn, and hopefully I can make a few plans. So one of the first things in my queue is this turquoise cardigan, and I had dyed a whole bunch of fingering weight yarn in a gorgeous turquoise color. And this is something I haven't planned. I don't even think I actually showed this to you guys in my stash flashing video that I did last week. But this is one sweater that I definitely want to make. Next up is the granny wrap. This is by Annaboo's house. And this is one that it's a crochet project, but this is one that I'm going to use up a whole bunch of scraps of fingering weight yarn. The pattern calls for bulky weight yarn, but I'm going to downsize the needle and just use up fingering weight scraps. And I think this is going to be a quick project and it's going to be gorgeous. So this is the Knit Picks palette Fair Isle colorwork type sweater. I'm not sure if I would do and use the exact same colors and designs that they have on here, but this is the style and the type of sweater that I want to do with that specific yarn. I don't have an exact pattern. I might get this pattern, or I might look around and find something else along this line, something this style, maybe a little bit, maybe look around and see if I can find alternate Fair Isle designs for each of the sections. Who knows? We shall see. I love this cardigan. I think I'm going to make this one using a variety of probably scraps, or possibly choose a handful of colors of yarn, or maybe dye a few colors of yarn. It calls for fingering weight, and it's a really pretty crochet cardigan. I think it would work up very quickly, and it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So here we have the 3-season cardigan. It's by Wool & Pine, and it's a worsted weight, heavily cabled cardigan sweater, and I absolutely love it. I think this might be a good option to use with that blue yarn I showed you that had the two slightly different dye lots on them. I think that might work out really well for this sweater. I would really like to use that in a cardigan of some sort, and I think with the blue colors would look really nice in cables. Only thing with this is I would definitely want to make the sweater longer, as it's a bit cropped or a little bit on the shorter side. And for a cardigan, I prefer it to come well down to the hips and almost the bottom coverage area. But this is a definite possibility for using that blue yarn. And the final one that I'm going to show you today is the February Lady Sweater. Now, remember that was it Debbie Bliss? That kind of turquoisey yarn that I showed you and said I had started a sweater with that years ago and got a really good deal on it, but never finished it. This was the sweater that I started to make. Now, granted, when I first did this, I had never really done any sweater knitting before, and I was lost. So I scrapped it and never finished it. I would like to revisit that, and actually, I still love the look of the sweater, and I would still like to make this sweater. So I think what I'm going to do is, this will definitely go on my list of things I want to make in the near future. And I will make a couple modifications. I will make the sleeves probably a little bit longer, and also I'll probably taper them down a little bit. I don't quite want them that wide as to get closer to the wrist. I might also make it a little bit longer in the body, but we shall see. Or perhaps make the top portion, the stockinette portion at the top, bring that down below the bust line and have the lace begin below the bust and carry on down from that point. We shall see. But this is absolutely a sweater that I will be making, and I do plan on using the yarn I initially wanted to use for this particular sweater. I do want to use that same yarn to make the same sweater. And this time I will actually finish it because I have a little bit more sweater knitting experience and knitting experience in general. So there we have it. Alrighty, so there we have it. Some plans for some knitting that I hope to get going on in the next while. It won't all get done in 2023, I doubt, but what I do want to do is start mapping out what I want to use my excessive stash on. So I'll also definitely be making quite a few pair of socks. I have enough sock yarn to make more socks than I can probably ever wear, as I already have more socks than I can probably already wear. But anyway, that's a whole different story for a whole different time. I also plan on using a lot of the worsted weight acrylic yarn to make different charity projects. I actually think what I might do with some of the acrylic yarn is hold 2 or 3 strands together, probably 2 strands together, and use a large knitting needle and just do garter stitch and make a little kind of a throw rug. I want to make one that fits on either side of my side of the bed and the hubby side of the bed, just so we have someplace nice and squishy and nice to put our feet on when we crawl out of bed in the morning, especially when it's cold in the wintertime. So I do want to do something like that. I also want to use some of the acrylic yarn and crochet, possibly knit, probably crochet because it's quicker and easier. Make a couple thick, heavy Afghans. I've made a couple in the past that my husband has used almost to death. They're just looking so ugly and ratty, and they've just been well used and well loved. But I do want to, I think I'll probably make a new one for him to use next winter, just for snuggling under when he's watching TV. But I don't know if there's a real pattern for it. It's just a very simple pattern where you crochet, you hold 3 strands of yarn together, you use up scraps, you use up random colors, doesn't matter, and you crochet using double crochet back and forth using a large crochet hook, 3 strands of yarn together. It makes for a really thick, squishy, incredibly warm blanket, and it works up really fast and it eats a lot of yarn. So I think I might make one of those for the hubby, and that'll use up a bunch of the acrylic yarn. We shall see. I've made several of them in the past, and they've been well used and well loved. So I think I might make another one of those for him, so we can just get rid of the ones that have been. You probably noticed there was a couple of them just laying on the couch in the background when I was showing you the stash video last week. So those are a couple things I do want to make. I also might use up some of them and make a few baby blankets or lap blankets to either donate to Project Linus or something like that, or to donate to a nursing home to use as lap blankets. And I don't mind using the acrylics because you can throw them through the washing machine, you can throw them through the dryer. They're super easy to care for, and they don't require special attention for staff at different nursing homes or long-term care facilities where they just don't have the time to do special things to take care of blankets and stuff. So just something that's going to be quick and easy, just throw in the wash, throw in the dryer, and keep using it. So I do plan on making some of those things. The cotton that's in that one little bag, that'll get used up making dishcloths here and there. And over time, I'll get more of the yarn used up and keep on cranking through it all. Alrighty, thanks so much for joining me. This is probably a bit of a shorter video, but I'll have a regular video next Saturday with showing you progress on what I knit while I was away on vacation. Alrighty, take care everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.